Do you need to lose weight? Well, you've come to the right channel, because I've got the solution for you. Just go ahead, saddle yourself up, get yourself some bulletproof coffee, sign up for that bulletproof roadmap, follow it to a T, you'll be all set.
I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Hit me.
Shit! So why is it that men and women gravitate towards this whole bulletproof diet or these low-carb ketogenic diets, whatever the case may be? Why do they gravitate towards this? One, it comes from just marketing, and then it's these guys, these people who do these low-carb diets, they usually have very extensive marketing campaigns behind them, and they usually are able to successfully get people to lose some body fat, and through that loss of body fat, they usually they can create these testimonials to show that people have improved, body mass, lower body mass, and improved blood markers, all that stuff. All this is associated with loss of body mass, especially with people who are extremely overweight, people who are excessively overweight. We're talking morbidly obese people. So even with all these marketing campaigns and even these testimonials, sometimes it can sound a little bullshitty. So why is it that people still gravitate towards it? And really what I think it is because carbohydrates have just straight up been demonized, completely demonized. And I'm not saying that this crap is good for you, because I don't even know, that's not food. I don't know what that's chemicals, fat, sugar, and God knows what the hell's in that stuff. I mean, that's not food. That's not supposed to be food. You're not supposed to be eating stuff like that. The human body was never designed to eat these types of foods. So when these low carbers come up with these diets or trends or these supposed lifestyles, I think people have just like this, probably it's like, an initial reaction that they get attached emotionally or something like that, because I understand they're exhausted maybe from trying other diets, and finally they do this diet and perhaps they lose a little bit of body fat, or maybe they lose a little bit of weight. And if they do it consistently, yeah, you'll continue to lose body fat. But the only reason why someone loses body fat, it is not because of lack of carbohydrate. It is because it is a lack of calories. Okay, it is a caloric deficit. And to achieve a caloric deficit, a low carb is not necessary. It is not essential, and it doesn't optimize your life from any perspective. Actually, I just read up this one study. It's a population study that actually showed that a low carbohydrate diet, it increases your risk by 30% of dying. This is compared to a standard American diet. The standard American diet is just what like typical American eats, just whatever they want, just a bunch of crap, sugar and fat and fast food and all sorts of shit. So it's actually worse from a health perspective. Now, if you were to just do this low carb diet and then you were to actually lose a bunch of body fat, would your health improve? And if you look at the numbers, I would say yes, your health would improve, but you would not be healthy. You would still be at risk. Unfortunately, you would still be at risk. The only thing that you improved was losing some body fat. And when you lose body fat, you get healthier if you're morbidly obese, and if you look at America's numbers, we're, what is it, like 71% of Americans are considered overweight or obese. I mean, obviously America's kind of out of control in that regard. I mean, I wish I had more statistics in regards to the rest of the world, but America, at least I know, is pretty out of control in regards to their nutrition and lifestyle. Another thing that I wanted to say in regards how low carbers will demonize carbohydrates is that they'll lump all carbohydrates together. I mean, are you really gonna say that foods like beans, grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, things of these whole foods, well, nuts and seeds are really they're not really high in carbohydrates, they're more fat based. But those types of foods, whole grains, legumes and beans, things of that nature, fruits and vegetables, you're gonna tell me that these carbohydrate-based foods are bad for you? I mean, I've never heard of someone who actually got fat and sick off of eating those type of whole carbohydrates, those type of foods. The premise that carbohydrates make you fat are absolutely false. What makes you fat is eating into a caloric surplus, and what causes people to eat into a caloric surplus is the fact that they're eating too much food. And this ties into like a whole bunch of psychological issues and the taste of the food and all that stuff. You got to understand that these foods that people overeat are actually designed to force you or to make you want to eat more of it. I think I read an article years ago that like the Dorito, I remember, yeah, it was like the Dorito was designed for it to like break apart a certain way in your mouth as you eat it so that you can continue to eat Doritos. To get me wrong, I used to love Doritos. I don't eat that garbage anymore because again, that's not food. Plus other reasons as well too, ethical reasons. So I'm not gonna get into that today. But just letting you know, these foods, throw that up there, these foods are not actual foods. This is junk. People get fat off of junk, not off of carbohydrates. So this whole bullshit that you need to stop eating carbohydrates to lose weight is a myth. That is not true. Which, by the way, I eat bread every single day. I eat 2 slices of Ezekiel bread every day, and I love it. So carbohydrates are not the enemy. And I want you to just think of it this way. If someone just had a heart attack, and that's a serious event, you know, that's the #1 killer in the US, if I don't want to say, and around the globe. If someone had a heart attack, do you think the doctor would tell the person who had a heart attack to go eat some steak? Like eat a nice fatty chunk of steak, or drink some colostrum the way that Mr. Bulletproof recommends? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's loaded with saturated fat and cholesterol. It's only going to further progress atherosclerosis and inflammation, everything that caused a heart attack to begin. We already know what causes heart attacks, and these low carbers are trying to deter away with that with studies that are funded by industry and funded with an agenda to make carbohydrates look bad. They're saying low fat. There's a whole bunch of research behind this. I don't want to get too deep into this because this is a free flow video, but just know there are studies to show that a low fat diet, when the diet is like at 30% fat, which is actually that's high fat diet. That's a very high fat diet, is shown to be less healthy than say a higher fat diet, which is around 35% of calories. But again, I don't want to get too high into that, which is just, this is ridiculous. These are studies that are formulated with an agenda to make low carb diets look better. So let's just ask ourselves, is low carb healthier than just say the standard American diet? I would say no, it's not. It's not, one, because from a population standpoint, it's not. And is the standard American diet great? No, it sucks. It's absolute garbage. I think they both suck. Absolutely, they both absolutely suck. So, moral of the story, low carb is a loss for me. The facts are that the healthiest foods on the planet are plants. They come from plants. And that is not my bias. Those are the facts. Look it up yourself. Right? I'm not talking about the most nutrient dense foods, the healthiest foods. Eggs are full of nutrients, but they're also full of harmful byproducts or substances that cause disease. Liver is full of nutrients, but again, full of harmful substances that are gonna get you sick. So don't eat that shit. Don't look at the things that you can't eat, but look at the things that you can eat. The things that you can eat that are gonna get you healthy, that are gonna make you feel good and get you jacked as fuck. And one last thing, really, I gotta throw this in here. This whole mantra that you've got to find your way and what works best for your body type or your journey and all this crap, that is it's a bunch of crap. I agree that we all have different taste preferences, absolutely. But to say that you do well on eating steak or animals or saturated fat, like these harmful substances, eating these foods is a crock of shit. That is absolute bullshit. Your body needs calories, it needs vitamins and minerals, some antioxidants. That's what it needs. And phytonutrients. It doesn't need saturated fat, it doesn't need cholesterol, it doesn't need that shit. Or endotoxins or AGEs or extra estrogen, all this crap. It doesn't need all that stuff. So all that, you find your journey, all that crap is not I really can't agree with it. I can agree that you need to find what foods work for you, that are plant-based, that are whole food plant-based, that are designed for you to eat, because yes, you are an herbivore. I would say, yeah, those type of foods, but anything that is derived from that is going to cause sickness, absolutely not. That food does not work with you. You may say it tastes good, it feels good as you eat it, whatever. Yeah, for now, from an acute standpoint, but from a chronic standpoint, you're causing yourself to get sick. And as far as I know, as far as I see from the research, plants don't cause disease. So there you have it. Is low carb good for you? No. Are plants good? Yes. I hope this helps. I want to thank everyone for watching. You know, I appreciate every single one of you. I hope you enjoyed this free flow style of video. If you like these type of videos, please make sure to let me know in the comment sections down below. And which, by the way, with YouTube and their algorithms and all this crap, if you could please do your boy a favor, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that notification ding dong bell if you want to watch my videos on a more consistent basis. I'm trying to upload more often. It's a process, it takes time. But either way, I appreciate every single one of you for sticking with me this long. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm the Natural Hulkster. And please stay tuned for the next one.